Hey! Say, Tony.
My respects to you.
Take care.
Good day to you. What do you need?
You're interested in carrying water?
I am. It's about time something good came to decent folk.
I agree. Now, I'll ask you a few questions.
What? But I want the work and I deserve it. Keep your questions for good-for-nothings.
What makes you so deserving? How did you make a living before this?
I was the owner of a mine. Well, I had a lease on it. But in our line of work, it amounts to the same thing.
The chief, eh? But have you ever hauled a bucket of ore up a hill?
There's no hill in a mine. Just a shaft with a winch.
It's hard work carrying water.
So is taking care of a mine.
It's not quite the same thing, is it? You need brawn to carry water, not brains.
I wasn't born a mine owner, you know. I've done my share of hauling.
There's also the option of, emptying latrines.
Are you trying to insult me? That's no job for a decent Christian.
True. That's why it pays double.
Double, hey? Oh, that's not bad, but, for a man of my stature, no doubt there are more needy souls. Double.
How are you holding up in Rattay?
Not too well. I've tried offering my administrative abilities at the rat house, but the bailiff treats me like a peasant.
He's not an easy man to deal with, true enough. But if you show him what you're capable of...
Well, if he gives you a chance to show him...
And the bailiff complained he couldn't get a word out of you.
I refused to talk to him. Last time I did, he was vulgar, shouted and threatened to whip me. And then he comes and interrogates me.
Well, I can see how that would put you off him. What would you give me if I put in a good word for you?
So that's how it is it? An honest person can't get a job, only one who'll stoop to bribing?
Come now. I just want to help, but I'll have my job cut out persuading the bailiff to take you.
All right. I don't have anything, but I know the armourer in Sasau, and he'll give you a good price if I have a word with him.
Cheap armour might come in handy, all right? Done.
Done. As soon as I get the job, come and see me, and I'll tell you all about it.
That's enough for now.
Take care, man.
Good health to you, sir.
You're here about the water carrying?
I am. Where do I get some pails?
Hold your horses. We haven't decided yet who gets the job. I have to ask you a few things first.
What for? I can handle the job. But ask away.
What trade did you do before?
I worked in the mines, at the winch, You've heard of Tonda the winch, right? Strong as a bull.
Ah, the name sounds familiar. You were one of the new miners, weren't you?
I was. I came last autumn. The winter was mild enough to work the mines, and I showed everyone I was a hard worker. So did I get the job?
We're not finished yet. Are you here because you want to carry water?
Well, I'd rather be back at the winch. Turning it so fast I'd make everyone's head spin. But now I want to carry water at least, since there's some money in it.
Well, there's also the option of carrying, shit.
Not a chance. I'm not carrying any shit around. And if anyone tries to make me, I'll break his legs.
And what if I told you that you get double the pay?
Didn't I mention something about breaking legs?
You did? But more money?
I wouldn't be Tonda the winch anymore. More like Tonda the stench.
And how are you holding up?
Not very well, I'll tell you that. I help out with something every once in a while and get some money for it. But it's not enough. Especially when the dice don't fall in my favor.
Sure. And have you tried looking for other work?
What for? They'll get the mines running again, and I'll have a real man's job.
And what about soldiering? That's real man's work, isn't it?
It is, and I'd be good at it. When I land a punch, you'd think you were kicked by a horse. Which I once showed to a soldier I fell out with over a game of dice. Only, I'm too smart for soldiering.
No doubt. I heard you lot don't want to talk to the bailiff.
I don't know much about that. The others didn't talk to him, so I kept my mouth shut as well. That's the way we do it at the mines. He didn't even really ask me anything anyway. Just mumbled something under his breath.
What would you give me if I recommended you?
What could I give when I don't have a pot to piss in? All I have is a strong arm. Whenever I hit anything or anyone, they stay hit.
Well, if I get you the job, will you show me how to really hit someone hard?
I could. Deal then.
Deal. I know everything I need.
So, can I go carry water then?
Not yet. I'll tell the bailiff and he'll choose.
Well, I hope he chooses me. Otherwise, I might be very angry.
If you think I'm afraid of you, you're mistaken.
We'll see. God be with you.
Jesus Christ be praised.
So tell me, what was your trade before?
I was a miner, then a farm laborer, then I was a servant, then I fled from Skullets and ended up here.
Quite the factotum, aren't you? Was none of those jobs good enough for you?
I liked them all, but they were always sending me to do something else. Pickman, they'd say. Leave this and go and do that.
Right, I see. How are you holding up, anyway?
What can I tell you? I've seen better days for sure.
What happened with the bailiff? He couldn't get a word out of anybody.
That peacock, what was strutting up and down and shouting at everyone? He told me he'd no time to listen to a buffoon like me. So I shut my mouth.
That's enough for now.
So, we're agreed then? When do I start working?
Look, the bailiff is the one who'll decide after I report back to him.
So, I might not get the job? I'll be in the shit if I don't. Understand?
Good luck to you.
God be with you.
Are you here on account of the water carrying?
Yes, I am. My name is Vincent.
Nice to meet you. I'll ask a few questions and we'll see, alright?
Fine. Ask away.
What did you do before this?
I work for my father.
Doing what? Who's your father, anyway?
He was Moimir. We had a farm near Scarlet's.
Really? His farmhands came to the tavern a lot, but I never saw you there.
I don't go to taverns.
So you're probably here about carrying water, right?
Aye. I want to carry water.
That's all? You've nothing more to add?
That's what's needed, ain't it?
How are you holding up?
Well, I'm alive. But I miss my father. And the farm, too. But Ma says there's no use dwelling on it. Life must go on.
What happened with Bailiff? He couldn't get a word out of anybody.
I don't know. I didn't talk to him at all.
And what would you give me if I put in a good word for you?
I've got nothing to give.
Oh, come now. You say you want the job, so prove it to me.
Mother told me I should go and help. If you don't want my help, fair enough.
That's enough for now.
Good luck to you.
My respects to you.
You're one of the people interested in work?
Well, Alex told me that I'm supposed to ask about a job carrying water.
That's right. But first, I'll ask you a few questions. You are...
Peter. But everyone calls me Rock. There was more than enough Peters in the mines. And not just in the mines. So...
At the mines? So you're a miner?
That's right. I worked in the East Shaft. And I hope I'll be working there again. Now that I think of it, have you heard anything from their lordships? When will they open the mines again?
I have no idea what their lordships plan to do about it.
All right. I just thought you might have heard something.
You'll find it nowhere else.
There's one more option. Carrying shit.
What? For the knacker?
It's a job.
But what would people say? I need money badly, but I couldn't go back to mining after that.
But it would be twice the pay.
The money would help, true enough. But what about afterwards? I don't want to be carrying shit all my life.
Look at it this way. You'll earn double the money in the same time, or the same money in half the time. That's not bad, is it?
Well, you have a point. I could get it over and done with quickly, and... All right, I'll take it. I suppose it won't kill me.
Good. I'm sure you won't regret it. How are you holding up?
You mean this here? Well, I've got feeling back in my arm again.
What happened to it, anyway?
That time in Skalitz. I was knocked down by a horse, but it's better now.
But can you handle carrying water? It's no easy matter.
Sure I can. Like I said, my arm's fine.
What would you give if I put in a good word for you?
Good word.
Sure. If I put in a good word for somebody to the bailiff, then that someone has a better chance.
But I haven't got a pot to piss in. I lost everything, and I'm in debt too. But I might know about an opportunity.
Oh? What kind of opportunity?
I heard about it at the mine, before Skalitz was raised.
So, what did you hear?
They found something they wanted kept a secret. There weren't any rumors about a silver scene, but what else could it be?
The punishment for stealing the king's silver is hanging or burning at the stake.
I know, but you can't be burned for stealing silver nobody knows about.
That's enough for now.
Farewell.
Remind me again where the money's supposed to be.
When we were running from Skalitz, I heard something. I don't know who said it. It's a miracle I could even hear it in that chaos. Either way, somebody hid a lot of coin under a dovecote.
Under a dovecote? And that's it?
That's all I know. How many dovecotes could there be in Skalitz? If you've got the guts to go back there, you're bound to find it.
Fine. We'll see.
Good health to you.
I know everything I need to know to pick the carriers.
Splendid. I'll be glad to get this damn business off my back. So how have you decided?
So, how do we do this? Do I just give you their names, or should I send for them?
Just tell me their names and whether they should carry water or something else. Don't worry, I'll send for them.
Peter, better known as Rock.
Peter? Rock? Didn't he get into a fight and injure his arm? Well, what should he do?
Carrying shit.
Good. One person for this job. Next?
Tonda. They call him the Winch.
The winch. Ought to be good with a bucket anyway. What's he going to do?
To carry water.
So we have one person to carry water. Who's next?
Vasil. Goes by the moniker of Pickman.
Pickman. I hope he doesn't have a history of pickpocketing.
No. They call him Pickman because he worked in the silver mines, and he was very keen with the pick. So much so, he managed to chop off 2 of his fingers.
Well, he can't do too much damage with a bucket, I suppose. Where do you want to put him?
To carry water.
So we have one person to carry water. Who's next?
Cornelius.
Ah, Cornelius. I had him here once looking for a job. Where do you want to put him? I'd like to see him with buckets of shit.
To carry water.
So we have one person to carry water. Who's next?
Antonia.
What? A woman?
Yeah, is that a problem? You never said it had to be only men.
I didn't, but I kind of assumed it would be clear. It's a long walk with a heavy load, man's work.
She can handle the job, have no fear.
Let's hope so. You'll have to answer to me if she can't. Where do we put her, then?
Carrying shit.
Good. One person for this job. Next?
That's it.
Good. All decided. Now about the cook's job.
May the Lord watch over you.
God be with you.
tasty. Good on bread and for frying. Come and get it, fine people. And pork crackling too. A joy to taste.
Father, I need your help urgently.
You? I recognize you. You're the Scarlet's blacksmith's son.
Yes, that I am.
I'm sorry. What did you want?
It may sound strange, but I need you to go back to St. James. The locals need their spiritual shepherd.
No. No, certainly not, my boy. That's one place I shan't be going back to.
Why? It is your parish, after all.
A parish that's little but a ruin these days. And besides, God forgive me, but I'm afraid. All kinds of ruffians are on the rampage around Skalitz.
It isn't completely safe, but most of them are gone.
As my father used to say, why take the risk?
What if they increased your income? Would that convince you?
My boy, my boy. I get tithes from the parishioners, and since my flock amounts to a flock of ravens these days, it won't come to much.
I know. That's why I've arranged a small collection for you, so you'll have something to live on before the parishioners return.
So that's what you're about. And how much have you put together?
Since it's you...
More!
Is this enough?
I'd almost shake on that. Almost.
Your kind of horse trading is enough to insult a man. You know what? Just go.
May the Lord watch over you.
Father, when do you plan to return to St. James?
I beg your pardon. Ask, my boy.
Your housekeeper, Agnes, is in Rattay and doesn't want to work for anyone else. She's waiting for your return.
So she survived. Thank the Lord. I prayed for her and all who suffered, but I'm not going back. Tell her I appreciate her concern, but to look out for herself now.
Good luck to you.
Good health to you.
Is there anything interesting going on here?
Well, there's two good-for-nothings from Skalitz who are a thorn in my side. It's one thing sympathizing with them after what happened, but it's another when they get mixed up in all kinds of mischief. I'll catch them red-handed sooner or later. When I do, they'll be sorry they crossed me.
May the Lord watch over you.
God be with you.
Are there any problems around here I might be able to help with?
Well, depends what you're willing to do. Of course, it's your own Skalitz folk need the most help. There's some of them at the monastery. I talked to Johanka a few times. She's working her fingers to the bone taking care of the injured ones there. I'm sure she'd welcome some good Samaritan who'd lighten her load. That's all I can think of.
Take care now.
What the...
Jesus Christ be praised.
Are you in need of a helping hand, Master Butcher?
Up an hand? No. But I've got a problem with supplies.
I understand. The roads aren't safe these days.
No, that's not what I meant. Beef and pork I can get plenty of, but the burgers here have a taste for aristocratic food. And maybe you can help me with that.
You want me to poach game?
Heaven forbid I would ever suggest such a thing. No. You would have to get it by, other means.
I don't want to spoil your plans, but game doesn't grow on trees.
No, but if you happen to be walking in the woods and, came across something, if you see what I mean.
All right. Let's say I'll take a walk in the woods and I'll come across something and bring it to you.
Excellent. I'm glad to see you speak my language. Get me a wild boar for now, so I can see what you can do. And don't worry, you'll be well rewarded. Farewell.
God be with you.
Any chance of some work?
Well, come to think, there is one rather delicate matter to attend to. A while ago, a holy man came by here. He said he'd come from the Holy Land, and he was selling various relics he'd collected on his travels to pay his way.
I see.
Well, I heard he had some fragments of a sacred sword that once belonged to the fabled Czech Queen of Sheba. But by the time he reached me, he had no pieces left of the sword. All he had was some dubious wares, splinters from our Lord's cross, thorns from the crown, nothing of interest to me.
And where did the pieces of the sword go?
He sold them off to swordsmiths and blacksmiths hereabouts. They just keep them lying around at home for good luck. If I had them, I'd forge them back into a sword. Can you even imagine what power it would command? If you could get me all the pieces of the sword, I'd repay you very handsomely.
I could do with a sword like that. What if you sold it to me?
Well, everything has its price, but this one would be expensive. Getting hold of the bits is one thing. Forging them back together is quite another. That tinkerer from Rattite couldn't manage it.
Where can I find the powers?
Like I said, the smith hereabouts bought them from him. They say the largest piece is with the Rattite swordsmith. The bastard probably won't want to sell. But if you manage to swipe it somehow...
Well, it does sound very interesting. I'll ask them and see what I can do.
Excellent. You'll see you won't regret it. I'll pay you well.
God be with you.
Let's have a word about the price.
All right, so... Aye, that would do it.
On the fishing boat tonight. Down on the deck.
What's going on out there? What?
What's that?
down, and he pulled me down on top of him. I slammed him with my hip, not my arse.
I just don't know. Looked to me like you had his nose right between your nether cheeks.
You little piece of shit. You want to have a go?
Boys, don't fight.
Hey!
Come now.
Shit, Henry!
Henry! Here!
God be with you.
The swordsmith from the town said he was after the pieces of a sword from some Queen of Sheba. A pilgrim was selling them a while back.
I know he's after those, but he's out of luck. He should have bought it while he had the chance. I still have mine on me. It brings me good fortune, and I shan't sell it.
Not even...
Not even for a king's ransom. Take care now.
Hey, what do you think you're doing? Get the hell out of here. Lost something here.
No. Clear off. Let me sleep.
Oh, shit. Sod off.
Johanka?
Henry?
I'm glad to see you.
Me too. I heard that you're doing well.
Well, that depends.
You're alive. So you're doing well.
What's happening here? Oh my god. Philip and... they're all...
Yes. Where do you think the wounded ended up?
Actually, I had no idea.
Well, now you know. Me and Nicodemus have been trying to keep things under control since Skalitz was raised. Just the two of us.
So can I help at all?
Certainly. We can always use an extra pair of hands here. And it's been like that since the beginning.
I was in a bad way myself back then. They took me to Rattay unconscious, and I needed a healer. How is everyone holding up? What can I do?
Holding up? People here are dying, usually needlessly, and I can't do anything about it. We don't have enough food or space or anyone who's willing to help us.
Doesn't anyone help you with nursing these people? You've got scholars all around you.
Scholars, maybe, but they leave the healing up to God. Nicodemus is trying, but everything he knows is from his books.
Can I have a look at them myself? I know a little about healing.
Do you now? And what would you do if you burnt yourself at the forge?
That actually happened to me once. Fritz pissed on the burn and it was right as rain the next day.
I see. Well, better talk to Brother Nicodemus before trying that treatment here.
Doesn't the monastery care for them?
They give us some food for them and a place to sleep, but I wouldn't say they help exactly. More like they just tolerate us.
Do you have enough food?
Enough to survive, maybe. But convalescents need feeding up.
Maybe if I brought some meat, some game, that would strengthen them up.
That would be a great help.
Anything else you need?
Look around.
Well, it is a little crowded.
Crowded? I've had to leave some of the sick lying in the open air, even at night. And have you seen what they're lying on?
I'll try to negotiate better conditions with the monastery.
I tried that, out loud. They just nod their heads, but don't move a muscle.
Very well. Why is there a guard outside?
He's here because of me.
Because of you?
Yes. There was one time I just had enough of it all, of the way they treat us, and I almost slapped one of... But that doesn't matter.
And how are you doing? You're the only woman here, alone in the monastery.
Some of the monks speak to me, but other people act like I don't exist. Too bad the custodian isn't one of those.
Is the custodian causing you problems?
All the time. Apparently he has a wife somewhere, but that doesn't stop him. He's constantly strutting around in front of me.
And, what else?
What do you mean, what else? He's invited me to his home.
I could do something about it, if you liked.
No, I can deal with him. The last thing I need is you going around threatening people. It won't help me, and it definitely won't help the refugees.
What can you tell me about the custodian?
He's supposed to be in charge of all the guards and the security of the monastery. But really, he has a say in pretty much everything, including supplies. And that's why he probably thinks he can do whatever he wants.
All right, that's all I need to know.
Look, Henry, I know I can speak harshly, but I'm at the end of my tether. Last week Bohuslav died. Maybe you knew him. And nobody even blinked an eye. We desperately need help.
I'll do whatever's in my power. Everything here is fine? These wounds have been well taken care of?
Eh? No, clear off. You'll sleep. Well, I never.
Henry, how are you?
I brought some meat.
Thank you, Henry. Rich food will definitely help. May the Lord watch over you.
You're the one who's in charge of the wounded.
Yes, I'm the infirmarius here. Time was I only had a few elderly monks who couldn't walk to take care of. Now I have this mess to deal with.
Monks so old they can't hold themselves up with their own legs.
Oh, if that were the only bodily function they could control. But I shouldn't talk like that. It's a blessing to live to such an age.
How are the wounded from Skalitz?
Some of them are well taken care of. But others are dying here needlessly. It's a good thing we have Johanka here. I'd never be able to manage on my own.
How can I help you?
Have you talked to Johanka?
I did.
Well, if you know something about it, then go and take a look. However, you don't look like you've studied the Hippocratic arts.
That's true. I'm the son of a blacksmith, but I have been around the wounded before. What do I do if I'm not sure of the treatment?
Come and speak to me. We'll see what we can do.
What do you think about the custodian?
Baron von Berg? Well, he does his job well. He keeps us safe here. And the last time I saw him was when I was rubbing ointment on his rash.
I heard he's been here a lot lately.
That's true. He comes to visit Johanka. But he's never here long, and he always leaves unsatisfied.
Thank you. Why are they so badly provided for? People are crammed in next to each other, and some have to sleep outside. That can't be good for them. It gets freezing here at night.
I can't afford anything more for them.
How is that possible? You're the infirmarius. You decide how all the money gets spent.
But I have no say in how much money I'm given. And because the abbot's away, it's still the same amount I had when I was taking care of a few old men.
Can't you do anything? Won't the others help?
Unfortunately not. The brothers in the cloister aren't much interested in the external world. And the custodian has enough on his plate with the chaos in the region. Besides, his main concern is the smooth running of the monastery.
And the local custodian? His crew has enough provisions.
I tried him, but it seems he had some disagreement with Johanka, and now he won't give us anything.
I'll try to talk to him. Even so, conditions here seem to me quite unchristian.
You're not the only one.
I'd like to learn something from you.
And what can you do?
A bit of everything.
Can you now? But to be more precise, do you understand herbs and medicinal plants?
To be honest, not really.
So what am I supposed to do with you? Well, never mind. At least you'll learn something new. Go to the herb garden, take a good look at what's growing there, and then pull up the weeds in the herbaceous beds. Is that clear?
Clear. I can get cracking.
Not so fast. Have I even told you what I consider a weed? It's dandelions, stinging nettles, and thistles. Those plants have their use, but they've no business growing among the euphrasia and the mentha, or anywhere else in that garden for that matter.
How can I tell them apart?
You see, this is the part where you learn something. Look in the herbarium to find out what a dandelion, stinging nettle, and thistle look like.
I see.
Once you've cleared the garden of weeds, come back. And woe betide you if you pull up anything but weeds.
Don't worry, you've never had as good a gardener. I can't stay here. Would you teach me more about alchemy?
Certainly.
I'd like to practice the basics.
All right, but it'll cost you.
Maybe another time. He just needs to sleep.
Please.
Everything here is fine. Philip, from Skalitz. I don't see any wounds, but he's shaking terribly.
Please, help me.
He'll be able to get out of this on his own.
Please, help me.
These wounds have been well taken care of. These wounds have been well taken care of. He's not reacting. But all I can see that's wrong with him is his leg. I have to ask Johanka. These wounds have been well taken care of.
Henry, how are you?
What's wrong with that man by the altar? He doesn't look wounded, but he's really pale and doesn't react at all.
He had a broken leg. A bad one. The bone had come right through the skin. We tried to straighten it, but I don't know if we did it right. I'm not holding out much hope for him. I've seen folk in that state before, and it didn't end well.
My God! There has to be something we can do.
And what do you suggest? The monks won't help, and I don't know anyone else who can.
What will happen to my family?
Well, I can try. I'll straighten his leg.
You?
I'll give it a go. It's not like I can make it any worse.
So you don't know anything? Don't even think about touching that poor man.
What about the executioner from Ratai? He usually breaks bones, but he might know something about mending them too.
The executioner? Even if you could persuade him to come, they'll never let him in here.
Well, maybe it would be enough if he advised me and then I tried...
Look, do whatever you want. I have to go and take care of the others.
What happened to Philip?
Poor man. There was nothing wrong with him, and now he's getting worse every day.
But do you know why?
Maybe. He didn't run away from Skalitz, you see. He hid for days, among the corpses. If he got poisoned.
But what can we do?
Us? Nothing. Only Father Simon might have been able to save him. He knew a lot about poisons.
And where is he?
You know he left Skalitz years ago.
And does anyone know where he ended up?
If you believe the stories about a wild man in the woods, then Rovnar is the place to go. Goodbye.
No. Clear off. Let me sleep.
Henry!
I'm glad to see you.
Matthew! Fritz! You're alive!
Of course we're alive.
You can't get rid of us that easily.
I'm almost surprised how happy I am to see the pair of you are all right.
We are now, but we barely made it.
Yeah, it was hard. Fritz ran like a little girl.
Really?
Bollocks! Bloody joker.
Tell us what happened to you.
They gave me a pretty good thrashing as well. It was only in Rattay that I got back in my right mind.
You're not doing too well either, are you?
Right now I'm helping the bailiff in Rattay.
That doesn't sound bad at all.
And how are you two getting by?
It's shit.
You said it. We're still chopped off to bits, owe the monastery a bundle, and there's no work here.
Not for anyone with more than half a brain, anyway.
No one's interested in two good carpenters in Sasau.
No one.
And we looked everywhere.
Hey, you wouldn't happen to know of anything?
It will really help us out right now.
Well, I can ask around, but I'm not promising anything.
Thanks, Henry.
We'll pay off the debt. Don't you worry.
What other neighbours of ours made it?
Your hunker's in the monastery. That girl really helped us out. That's about all we know. When we ran for it, we helped Teresa. But who knows where she is now? We got separated.
I owe my life to Teresa. She
Welcome,
hauled me unconscious
Henry.
to the mill in Rattay and nursed me back to health.
I'm glad she survived. Since you know her so well, why not try asking her if she knows about any work?
And where would they hire you to?
Well, we were carpenters in the mines, so wherever they work with wood, I suppose. Forget about construction. After Skalitz, no one will be building for a long time. Just here in Sasau, and they don't want us here. The best chance we have is to work at a mill. People always have to eat. Ideally, we're looking for a job that pays a lot and doesn't require much work. Goodbye.
Neil's go with the ale, please.
My respects to you.
Have you got a bed for the night?
Certainly. For how long?
Just the one night?
No problem. But you pay in advance.
Here you are.
You'll like it here. Like sleeping on a cloud it is.
Are there any problems around here I might be able to help with?
Nothing I've heard about. Thank the good Lord. It's quiet here. God be with you.
Mother of God, you look like you've been assaulted.
I'd like to order something here.
And what is it you'd like?
Get myself fixed up a bit. Have a bath and get my clothes washed.
As you wish. Do you have the coin?
I'm not giving you that much.
And how much are you willing to pay?
Satisfied?
I'd almost shake on that. Almost. You won't regret spending the money. I guarantee it.
Well, you're a sight for sore eyes.
Matthew and Fritz send their regards.
They survived. My God, I'm glad. They helped me out a lot. And where did you see them?
In Sasau. I bumped into them in front of the tavern. Where else?
And how are they doing?
They're doing fine. The monks brought them back to health. But they don't have work, and they're in debt. You wouldn't happen to know of any jobs going for two lazy carpenters?
Not here. And I think it will be the same in all of Ratai. It's overcrowded with refugees and they're all looking for work.
That's bad. Those two need work badly. To keep them out of mischief. You know what they're like.
I do indeed. Try the mills in the smaller hamlets. The miller in Ledechko is old. Maybe he could use some strong hands.
I will. Thanks. Do you want something?
I'd like to ask a favour of you, Hal.
Of course. What is it?
I heard you're picking people to carry water. No one needs the job more than Antonia.
Adam never mentioned any Antonia.
I'm not surprised. But Antonia really needs that job.
Can she cook?
What's that got to do with carrying water?
Nothing, but there's a cook's job going too. Much easier than hauling water.
I don't know how good a cook she is, though. You'd better ask her yourself.
Well, I'll keep it in mind. But I'm supposed to find someone who can handle everything. I don't know what the bailiff will say.
It won't hurt to try. And if it doesn't work out, then try and get Vincent a job at least. He needs something to do.
Idle hands are the devil's tools. What's he up to, chasing wenches?
Vincent? A quiet, well-mannered boy like him? Not at all. It's just his mother has no one but him.
How about another little outing with me?
You never give up, do you? That would be great. Only not just now. Come and see me in a day or two.
Miller Peshek sent me. He's very sorry, but by mistake he didn't give you the full weight of flour last time. He says you should come and get the balance.
That rogue. How much is it?
Half a sack. That's nothing to sneeze at.
It certainly isn't. I'll go there right away.
I need help with a wounded man from Sasau.
And why should I help you?
Help me now, and I won't forget it next time you need anything. I'm a loyal person when it comes to favors.
All right. I'll take your word for it. What do you want?
Do you know anything about broken bones?
No, Henry. If you want to rough someone up, then you can go elsewhere. I'm an executioner, not a thug.
No, it's not that. The exact opposite, actually. There's a man in Sasau with a badly broken leg. They tried to straighten it, but now he's unconscious, and he just keeps getting weaker.
And the monks won't touch him?
Yeah, that's right. They say it's in God's hands.
True enough. But it doesn't mean we can't help him, too. Where's the leg broken?
Above the ankle.
All right, listen. They won't let me in to see him, but it's not all that hard to deal with. There are 2 bones there, most likely both broken. One of them probably didn't set, or it set badly. You can find both of them by feeling for them. If he's lost weight, it'll be all the easier. You have to find the place where the break is and get the 2 parts together. But the pain will be agonizing. He'll scream like a wounded beast and flail around all over the place. You'll have to get some strong fellows to hold him down so he doesn't do himself a worse injury. Don't be afraid to dig your fingers right into the flesh. And don't let the screaming put you off.
All right. Hopefully I'll be able to do it.
You will. Good luck, Hal. What the hell was that?
This is certainly no time for roving.
Fresh bread! Bread! Roll! You! Galaxy to the winter!
And may the souls of all the faithful departed, through the mercy of God, rest in peace. Amen. Good evening.
I asked around in Sasau. Father Francis is doing well in Sasau. He has no plans to return to St. James anytime soon.
You talked to him? How is he doing? Doesn't he need his cassock fixed? He's always tearing it. There isn't a pew or a step he hasn't tripped over at one time or another.
I asked the abbot. He said they have work for him elsewhere and that St. James will have to wait.
Wait? I remember the last time. We had to go to Sasau for almost 2 years. I probably won't even live that long.
That won't be that bad. Meanwhile, you can work at Master Hagen's house and who knows? You might even find you like it.
You're probably right. What else can I do at my age? And the presbytery is too big for one woman alone.
So you agree you'll go and work for Hagen?
Isn't that what I just said? I'll go and do housekeeping for him. God bless.
My respects to you.
I chose a cook as well. Should I tell you or go to Hagen?
Tell me who you chose and I'll take care of it.
I chose old Agnes for the cook's job. I had a job convincing her, but it was worth it. She's the best cook around.
Glad to hear it. I'll have to drop in on Hagen for lunch sometime.
Bread baked just this morning.
Good.
Bread.
Handy implements and machines of every kind. Come on up and buy.
God be with you.
Do you know if there's anyone around here who could use my help?
Could be. Sir Hanush is convening the Ratai tourney again at the Upper Castle. It's always a great occasion with duels all day long. You can still enroll tomorrow, if you think you're good enough.
Do you know if there's anyone around here who could use my help?
No one I can think of. Farewell.
Coming right.
Good health to you.
Have you got a bed for the night?
Certainly. For how long?
Just the one night?
Sure, but let's see your coin first. These are harsh times.
That's quite a lot. Can we discuss the price? Are we agreed?
Well, a little more and we'll call it a deal. You'll like it here. Like sleeping on a cloud it is. Farewell.
I wonder what Teresa's doing now. I could stop by and see her again. I enjoyed it last time.
You!